Well, thanks for coming, bro.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Well, I like, obviously when you and I met, I think I hit it off with you because I saw that you were in the fitness world prior to getting into real estate, which was kind of my journey too. And did I read it right? Did you go from like DC to Chicago to Phoenix?
It was upstate New York
Okay.
to Florida to Chicago to Virginia, back to Chicago to
Wow.
Phoenix.
Is this
Yeah.
all with the same company?
That was with two different fitness companies.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was your main role there? So prior to real estate, you're in the fitness world.
Yeah, district manager, area supervisor, it was the positions that I held the longest between the two companies.
And what was your main role there? Like, what were you doing on the day to day?
Was responsible for everything from A to Z, from hiring to human resources
Oh,
to
wow.
performance. So yeah, I mean, at the end we had a 150, $200 million budget that I was in charge of, and so yeah,
That's a lot of responsibility.
It was.
Yeah. And so with that, you're deploying capital to market to get people in to the gyms?
Well, I mean, we would, I was the operations manager basically, so just making sure that for the operations of the club, everything was running right, the service, responsible for all the team members delivering, amazing service.
Okay.
So, and of course, hiring and training the sales team, making sure the sales team were delivering on the objectives, making sure that the spend. So at the end of the day, I was responsible for the EBITDA and the P&L performance of each of the clubs.
Dude, that's a lot.
It was a lot, yeah.
Yeah. Now, why all the moves? So was that because they were opening up in these locations? Like, hey, Mike, we really need you to go out to Florida to start there, or to go fix something?
It was a combination of both. It was a combination of opportunities to go and open up new markets, or opportunities for promotions, opportunities in terms of, markets that were underperforming. So, they used to call me to take on the tough markets and to fix them and
Bring in the fixer.
bring them back to life.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What a good reputation to have.
Yeah. It was
That is
fun.
pretty cool. So what was the catalyst to then say, hey, I'm going to leave this world and go into real estate?
Yeah, I mean, after 30 years, it was really, really, really tough, to make that decision. It was a combination of a lot of different things. It was COVID hit right when we moved out here, when we opened the Lifetime, and
So that's what brought you out to
that's what
Arizona.
brought me out, open up the Lifetime Biltmore.
Okay.
And COVID hit, and it was we were open for 9 days, and then we closed.
Wow.
And we opened back up again. And in that time period, I had met a broker, and he'd come to my office, and he's like, "You know what, Mike? You'd be amazing at real estate." And my wife was a licensed agent in Virginia and in Chicago. I started to get my license in Virginia, just couldn't complete it, couldn't finish it, too busy as an area director out there. And it was just the right time, after 30 years of the huge time commitment. It was a mutual parting of the ways between, the two of us, and right place at the right time. Broker comes in, and I decided that was time. It was
That's
time
pretty
to
cool.
go out on our own.
Yeah. Well, it's cool that you're already familiar with the business as well. Like when I got
Right.
into mortgages, I had no idea what it entailed. So at least your spouse was already doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Plus, I was an account executive for a couple of years in the subprime world, so I left the fitness business for a couple of years when I moved to Florida, so I had a little bit of a hiatus there. So actually, that's where my wife and I met, and yeah, it was, so that gave me that side of the business also, knowing some financing and working with brokers out there, and being
So you
part
were
of
a
that world.
subprime account executive?
Yes.
Oh, cool. And was your wife doing real estate at that time?
No, she was a loan processor for the subprime company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And so met there, then she gets into real estate.
Yeah, no, she did real estate mostly on the side, so she would hold, one position, and then she would do real estate on the side.
Oh,
And,
nice.
I'd have a lot of referrals that would come through. And then, of course, she would have her own
Smart.
business. Yeah.
Smart. Okay. All right, cool. So we get started. You get into real estate. You're on a team or solo?
Yeah, so I started with a small team. It was a brand new team. So again, that broker that brought me on, it was very new for them. I spent about 30 days with them and happened to be in a meeting with Chris and Ryan, and Chris and Ryan talked to me and got to know them, and we then branched out to a larger team and spent the next 2.5 years with that larger team. And before we decided to move over to EXP and branch out on our own.
Would you suggest that for new? I was just in a class yesterday with 25 new agents. They're literally taking their test tomorrow, or they're done with their class today. They can take their test tomorrow.
Right.
And how I got started was on a team, being a mentored by a team leader for like 3 years. And I suggest it, but that's also the world I started in, right?
Right.
Would you suggest that route as well for agents coming in? Get on a team to learn from a mentor like yourself?
Yeah, I would say if I didn't know what I know now, I would say yes. But because of what I know about our team and our family and the playbook that we have, I would say it's not necessary.
Right, even that, you guys are not a team by financially, but a team by camaraderie.
Correct.
Yeah.
By camaraderie, best practices, playbooks. I mean, it's all about collaboration with this team, and that's really the beauty of it is, no one is afraid to share their playbooks. Everyone on the team wants the next person to be better than them, which is really the beauty. It's not about competition. It's about collaboration. It's about how can we make you better. And truly, that's elevated our business and our game because of that.
That's awesome. So now, how long have you been on your own now? So you left the team that you were at, moved to EXP solo there, building your own team. And how long has that been?
Yeah, so again, that was a good team. It was a hard decision to move over, but we knew it was time, and it's been just over 1 year, so we just crossed that 1 year mark.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
All right, cool. And doing that, when you look back, any regrets from doing that?
Not at all. The regret was, why didn't I do it sooner?
Mm-hmm.
But, hey, everything is for the right time. I had a lot of great experience, met a lot of great people on our old team. And, just onward and upward from here.
Cool. So how's your business set up right now? How much is the repeat referral, because you've been doing it for a while now, and how much is coming from other sources?
Yeah, it's very interesting how our business has flowed. I mean, our first year, we closed 41 transactions. It was basically 95% Zillow and internet leads and 5% referrals because I'm not from here, so I didn't have a sphere. The second year, it was 50-50. Year 3, it was 75-25. So that's kind of when we knew that it was, okay, it's time to go out on our own. And now with the new playbooks, it's, repeat referral business is about 50-50 between that and Google PPC leads and other internet sources that we've, been able to manage. So we're still doing a lot of repeat referral business, but we're also adding into the mix, the pay-per-clicks and other lead sources, which is nice.
And that's fantastic. It is good to have, we talk about having like legs of a stool.
Right.
So let's talk in sections. So your playbook for your Sphere stuff. So 50% of the business, Sphere, referral, past clients. What does the contact look like in frequency of staying in touch with them to have that relationship where they're referring you?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, it's first of all, it's birthdays, it's home anniversaries, so they're getting, a Starbucks gift card either via email or via, the mail with an anniversary card.
Okay.
Besides that, it's staying in contact with them at least once every 3 months. Of course, we have many of our clients that follow us on social media, so anytime they're seeing our post or commenting on it, of course, it's touch and base. So.
But at minimum, there's an outbound reach out quarterly.
At minimum, quarterly, but it rolls up to probably every 30 to 60 days between the other things that we're doing for them behind the scenes with newsletters, with, that's hitting them weekly, HomeBot, home values, fellow, so we're trying to make sure that they never forget about us, number one, from the service that we provide during the transaction, and then never forgetting about them, right? My philosophy is I want to do business with my clients like I'm doing business with them for the rest of my life. And it's not about transactions, it's about relationships.
Mm-hmm. Which is all just client retention.
Correct.
Right? How do I just stay top of mind? And you do a great job. It's the social, the newsletters, just continuously to add value, but just stay in front of the client, investing in HomeBot, things like that. Tell me about Fellow. How does that, what is that?
Yeah, Fellow is a very similar platform, again, with the shift in the market and what's to come. Of course, we want to get in front of more listing opportunities. So Fellow is very similar to HomeBot, where they're sending out information to clients in our database and continuously updating them on the market and getting them to do home valuation. So it's very similar. It's just, I would say, maybe a little bit more advanced. So again, it's brand new. I'm 30 days into it, so just testing it right now.
Okay.
Again, another one of the best practices that came from our group that has been suggested. So I trust these guys.
Nice.
That it's gonna be work and that the ROIC is gonna be there.
I saw some of the data on it, and I just haven't done a deep enough dive. I just found out on Tuesday. We were talking in a small group, high producer mastermind we were doing, and they were showing me a screenshot of like the open rates. And it was like, gosh, I want to say it was like 3,800 emails went out and 3,200 were opened. And there were, I want to say maybe it was like 400 or 700 that had click-throughs where they actually watched a video in the email. And then there was 70 appointments booked. I mean, it was pretty insane that they're, and I think kind of what you were saying, it takes it to another level because like HomeBot's not really looking to book you an appointment. It's a lot of information. There's stuff they can click on, but this is like trying to get them to engage, to book an appointment, to get your calendar and convert to something.
Right.
So I'm going to do more research on that.
Yeah, no, like you said, the open rate I think is like 65 or 70%. It's insane.
Okay, so we got the birthdays, the annual calls. Your newsletters are digital.
Digital. Okay.
Do you do any hard mail other than the anniversary card or birthday card that might show up in the mail?
Yeah, we do the touch base email. We're going to send out letters. So yeah, we have our anniversary letter that'll be going out soon now. Just again, thanking all of our clients for their support. That'll have a magnet. Probably put the Cardinals schedule on it. We're still putting that together now to send out. So we'll try to do that a couple times a year. Then we'll also send out just sold postcards and home value, have a home valuation QR code on there. So yeah, we're trying to touch base with them through the mail as well.
Cool. How about visits? Do you do any client parties or engagement outreach where you're like, hey, how do I get face to face with them again?
Have not set those up. I know that's next level, and yeah, we need to definitely set up some client engagement events, but we have not gone there yet.
Okay.
Still putting the whole business together, and those are definitely.
You got a lot in there. I know people do that, so I just throw that out there.
Yeah.
I always say mail, call, visit, email, social.
Yep.
Like there's your 5 pieces of the database. All right, so let's shift gears. So talking especially with tech, and I know you've dove into this with the GGMS and the AI. So how is it with the follow-up, and how is it different on that other 50% of your business? How is that set up?
Yeah, so I think, number one, I've always been a systems guy, and I've always been a guy that runs the plays. That's what I was known for in my 30 years of leadership was you give me a play, and I'll be the first one to execute the playbook. So the old system was very much try to figure out how often I should be following up, not really knowing, not having the, as you said, the artificial intelligence of when to touch base. Whereas now with Sierra and GGMS, tagged on to it, it's amazing, because every day I know who my priority clients are, who are the clients that need to be, who I need to reach out to, that are ready to do something or ready to engage. So, your priority tasks are number one, and that's, 20 to 50 tasks a day, of people I'm reaching out
Wow.
to engage with, to start connecting with and figure out how we can help them with their goals.
So the AI is engaging them with questions and such to get them to elicit a response to finally let maybe raise their hand a little further to book an appointment with you, and then you just open your dashboard and go, "Hey, that person's hotter,
Yeah.
right, than the other." Does it have any of that stuff where, God, I only know to reference it like a cell score, where it's using data of, hey, they've been shopping at Home Depot and might want to list their home now, or does it do any of that stuff, or it's just engaging through text and email to try to get them to raise their hand?
Yeah, it's not really going to give you a score. It's just giving you the hand raisers,
Okay.
according to their activity. They looked at this property 3 times. They looked at this property 5 times. They saved this property, or it's a direct contact of, want more information, and then it's automatically pinging me and making it a task.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, what percentage do you find in that bucket of leads that you're getting are in state versus out of state? Is there a percentage that is out of state, a great percentage, or?
Yeah, I mean, our clients are probably about, at this point in time, the first couple of years, I would say we were looking at 70 to 80% during the COVID years. We had so many people coming to Arizona. We still
Okay.
do.
Yeah.
I would say we're probably about 60 to 70% now
Really?
are out of state,
Wow.
at least.
Wow.
Yeah.
So all the leads coming through your Sierra, 60-70% are all out of state.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's a very high percentage.
Now, so talk to me about this. Your buyer presentation. You're very system and process driven. You've got someone out of state. Do you invite them to a Zoom, or do you just talk to them over the phone and wait for them to come to town? How do you get face to face with them quickly?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different tools. I like to gear it towards the client and what I think is going to work best for them. So I never try to force them into something that's uncomfortable for them. So I go with the flow. If it's, hey, first call, lead comes in and I'm calling him and we sit on the phone for 15 or 30 minutes at that time, that's my buyer presentation, build rapport, get them to like me, get them to trust me, and want to do business with me.
Okay.
Other times it may be a little bit more challenging to get people on the phone. Then we, of course, try to set up a Zoom, or we'll do that buyer consultation right at the first showing to get to know them a little bit better. And now we're developing something to get ahead of it a little bit, where we're going to be sending out a virtual buyer presentation where you can actually go through it on your own to give us the information that we need. Most importantly, give them the information that they need so they learn a little bit more about us, and they can do it on their time versus our time at their
That's
leisure.
cool. So leveraging your time that way with
Correct.
technology.
Correct.
Okay. And what would that look like? Is it a series of videos, or?
Yeah, it's a series of videos, a series of prompting questions. Are you a first-time home buyer? And then it's, hey, are you going to be paying cash? Are you afforded that luxury? Or are you going to be financing? Great, here's our preferred lender. And have a link directly to filling out an application to get pre-qualified. So yeah, we just want to make it easy for people to do business with us.
That's cool. It's almost like an if-then.
Correct. If
Yeah,
then, exactly
yeah.
how it's built.
I just think as I say moving toward, I mean, we're in this internet age, right, where people just go online, especially out of state, you have to, but they just go online. Like I'm looking at cars. Back in the day, it would be, let's drive to the dealership of where I want to look. Now it's like, let's just Google and look online. And then let's check reviews. Let's do comparisons. Then the last thing is, okay, let me just drive a couple of these and see which one I like.
Right.
Right? But you're looking for that convenience. And in the beginning, it's online. And a lot of times, especially with time changes and such, someone hits your website, maybe you're not around to discuss whatever it is. But most people are going online to look for the information. So, oh yeah, I'm a first-time home buyer, and no, I need some financing. But they watch a couple of your videos and they get a little more engaged with you. Like, oh, I like
Right.
that guy. Wow, I really like how he speaks, and oh, he's a straight shooter, or whatever the personality they feel is coming across. And then they feel a little more connected.
Right.
Because that's at the end, I need them to feel more connected with me than the other people that they might be seeing online to then book the call, book the appointment, book the Zoom.
Yeah, connected and comfortable, right? That's what we want them. And if they're more comfortable talking about those things online versus having, some people are uncomfortable talking about how they're going to be paying for their home, or they may not even know.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to give them that information and give them multiple tools and resources. If they want to do a live Zoom, great. Let's
Right.
set that up.
Yeah.
We can book it.
Yeah, what are you interested in doing?
Right.
I like what you said, like what's comfortable. Because if I said, hey, let's jump on a Zoom, and it's someone who does not want to be on camera, does not, I always think people are more comfortable nowadays on Zoom, but there's some that aren't.
Yeah.
And so they don't. So right when you say that, it's almost off-putting. If you said, hey, are you open to jumping on a Zoom, or would you rather just jump on the phone?
Right.
Like, oh, the phone's fine. Oh, great. Like that way it doesn't make them feel bad either for not saying yes to the Zoom.
Right.
Some are like, Zoom's good. You're like, great, because then I can share you my presentation or PowerPoint or maps or however you show your value through your presentation. Now, do you have let's say we were face to face, right? So you're meeting your buyer for the first time. So it's a buyer consultation. And do you have some sort of material that you take them through, whether it's a PowerPoint or flyer or folder? Do you have material?
Yeah, I mean, our buyer presentation is built out almost exactly like our listing presentation.
Okay.
So it really shouldn't be any different. It should be going through and, we want to talk about the service that we provide, and that's a whole presentation inside of itself with, 100 things that we do throughout the transaction for them, which a lot of people may not know. So yeah, we build out a full PowerPoint that talks about from our team to the communication level, which of course that's the most important thing that people are looking for today. They want to know, okay, we're through the inspection period, what happens next? So we're very deliberate about making sure people know each step of the way what's happening.
Yeah, it's funny you said that. What's next? There was the did you see that NAR survey that
Yes.
they did?
Yes.
Yeah. So number one thing you would think would be communication was important. It was like number 3.
Right.
Number 1 was what's next, and like you had said, that certainty, comfortability. It's the Uber Eats or DoorDash. Like you order something on your phone and
Right.
it says like we've got your order, and then it has like a little line with a dot that says preparing your order, and then it goes preparing your order, and then it has the little line that says we're putting it in the oven, or it's out, it's ready, driver's on the way, driver's heading to your house. And so you know what's next and you know exactly where you're at. And I just find that if I end the conversation with my client saying, hey, here's what's going to happen next, here's what's next, then I'm doing exactly what this massive study across the entire country of home buyers said that they wanted, which was, man, I just want to know what was next.
Right.
Right? That not knowing, that uncertainty, that mystery was not fun.
Right.
Right? It's that fear of the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how's your team set up right now? Who's on your team?
Yeah, so we have, my wife and I, of course, are the business partners. So she says she likes to do the fun stuff. So she likes to do the showing. She likes to do the open houses. She'll do a lot of the ordering behind the scenes. So she does a lot of that. We have
ordering what?
Ordering supplies, folders,
Okay.
business cards,
Oh, cool.
signs, So she's the point person for that. We have a dedicated transaction coordinator. I would call her more like an assistant than a transaction coordinator. Stevie, she's amazing. I mean, she does everything for us in terms of paperwork and making sure everything gets uploaded, making sure we stay in tune with deadlines and timelines, sending out offers to our clients. I mean, she's really amazing what she does for us.
That's such a critical role.
Huge.
I mean,
Yeah.
yes. Talk about what's next. I mean, that
Yeah.
person is the what next person.
It just saves so much time doing that admin that again leads us to what's next, serving that next client to be able to do those things. So she's really helped to build efficiency. I mean, Dave Z introduced me to her, and it's all about leverage with her. She's amazing. Then we have our virtual assistant out of the Philippines. She does a lot of behind the scenes work. Of course, I'm out of the office right now for this interview. She's behind the scenes, making sure, checking emails, responding to clients, making sure that they know that we're on top of things and responsive to them, even when I can't respond. Social media tasks, helping out with showings, just a number of things, again, leverage so that we can serve more people and deliver even better service.
Dude, how many hours back in your day do you get with someone else watching your emails?
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
It's a time suck.
It is.
Yeah. So that keeps you in your highest and best. What's a day-to-day look like for you?
Business or just overall?
Let's start with business.
Business. I mean, it's number one, it's making sure that we're serving the clients' needs that we have in our pipeline. People that are under contract. Making sure that we're serving them. It's
So do you have a pipeline meeting every day?
no, we don't have a pipeline meeting, but it's just me making sure I'm on top of what's next. So that I can make sure I'm informing them. So it's. The day, of course, starts in the office and starts with emails, starts with, anything that's red flag that I need to get to right away. It's getting into Sierra, getting into the priority leads. It's great because we have a virtual meeting room that we go into every day. So we jump on a Zoom. We've got 5 to 10 agents per day that are in this virtual meeting room holding each other accountable to making the dials, making the calls, or
that's
going
cool.
into the chat, putting out questions and, putting out wins and sharing. So, some days we have a lot of chatter and a lot of things happening. So again, getting through the priorities, in Sierra and GGMS, the tags you work left to right. So you work from your priority leads to your new leads to your favorites, and then you go into your cold calling people that you haven't had contact with in quite some time. So yeah, it's just working through that as much as possible and staying on top of our tasks.
And then the rest of the day is open for appointments.
Yeah, it's open for appointments. I mean, again, we also leverage showing agents. So, my goal is to, as Dave Z said, is to run the cash register. And that's to be at the computer. That's going to be answering the phone when the new lead comes in. And, because somebody's online shopping, they want to hear from you.
Yes.
As quickly as possible. And that's going to be your best chance to get a hold of them.
There was some stat, what was it, like over 84% work with the first agent they talked to?
Yes.
Like just talked, it didn't matter their level of experience. It was like that was the first one they got a hold of. And then I think there's just some inherent loyalty there to that they built that connection and they're not looking to go do that anywhere else.
And people are busy. People don't have time to go and interview 5 people. If that first conversation goes well, like you said,
Done, locked in.
Done. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not going to do a lot more homework if that one feels good.
Right.
Especially when you can say, hey, this is what we've done. We're in the top 1%. We sell more homes than 99% of the agents out there. That with, again, the commitment for great service that we deliver.
So look, we talk about routines in your business and what your daily practices are there, but what does the daily practice look like personally? Like how you set up your day, how you finish your day? What does that look like?
Yeah, it's an important one. I'm a routine guy and very disciplined in the morning. And, the first thing I do before my feet hit the floor is, my prayers and my Bible verses and making sure that I'm starting with God first and how grateful I am for the opportunities in life that we have, my family and friends and business partners. That's first and foremost.
That's phenomenal. So that's Bible on the nightstand, or is that a Bible app? Or
Bible app, yeah.
Okay.
Great question.
Cool. And it just pops up to the current like proverb of the day? Or...
Yeah.
Okay.
Reading
awesome.
of the day, and then a lot of times I'll end the day with the plan that I pick based on what's happening in life or what's happening at church, and then it's then we go into our little bit of exercise and some movement. After, of course, the water and.
Yep. So we head in the kitchen. We get the water, the Himalayan sea salt, the lemon.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. Now we go for a walk with the dogs.
Walk with the dogs or hop on the Peloton.
You do anything with weights? Any resistance kind of stuff, or is that tabled because of the back?
Nope. I do weights about 8:30, 9 o'clock at night with my son.
Oh, cool.
Every night, yeah. some nights begrudgingly, not really want to go at 8:30 at night.
So you're a two-a-day guy.
2 a day guy.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
So is this at the house? You have equipment at your house, or do you guys go to the gym?
No, we go to the gym.
Okay.
Yeah, we go to the gym. We worked out in our community center for 3 years, and then he decided that he needed a little bit more.
Need
I
more
probably
equipment.
needed a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get
Dude, that's a
back
fun
into it.
bonding exercise for you guys.
Yeah, it's great.
Literally.
It's great. He's
Yeah.
pushing me. And he's, we're both getting in shape, and
Killer.
yeah.
So in the mornings, I know then you finish with a plunge.
Finish with the plunge.
Yeah.
Yep. So 4 to 5 minutes every single day, and sometimes it's a dunk. If I need a little bit more of an adjustment to jumpstart the day, then
Yeah.
I'll go in for the full dunk, and it's 3 minutes of grounding and listening to the podcast at the same time. Brian Gubernick, No Days Off. Love starting my day with that, and
Do
then
you listen to that in the plunge?
listen to that in the plunge.
Oh, that's good. Because his are usually like 6, 7, 8 minutes. so-
Perfect. Yeah, I put
Yeah.
it on 1.5 speed, and
Yep.
boom,
Nice.
I'm done. Gets me through it.
You're like, wrap it up, Brian. Come on, I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little cold.
Yeah.
That's good. Now at night, does your son use the plunge? Do you kids use the plunge at all?
They try to use the plunge, but they
Mine
have.
are the same. They're sometimes my daughter actually is way better at it and more disciplined about it.
Yeah.
And it's more when the physical therapist said, "Hey, this would be a good idea for you," but they're not. I'm just into it.
Especially as a gymnast, right? Your daughter?
Yeah.
Yeah, for repair.
Yeah.
That's how I tell my daughter and my son after track meets. I'm like, come on, let's get in. It'll be good for you.
Yeah, she really likes the compression pants.
Oh, yeah.
That's just more like I can watch TV or be on my phone and have the little
The Normatec?
Normatec.
Yeah.
Yep.
Emma tried that out last night after soccer training
How'd
for
she
the
like
first
it?
time. She seemed to like it better than the cold plunge.
Definitely better than the cold plunge.
Yep,
Yes. But I tell you, like I get hungrier. I think it increases your metabolism. But I for sure, like I could have a crazy leg day, and if I use the compression pants, I could go do legs the next day.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
they're
impressive.
that good. Do you have them?
I don't know.
Okay. That'd be a good family Christmas present.
There you go.
Yeah. So is there any, I know you said podcasts. Are there any books that you read? Do you read, or do you Kindle read, or do you just listen read? Or combination?
Yeah, I mean, I read. I do audiobooks. So I'll be reading a book, and then I'll have a different audiobook when I'm traveling that I'm listening to.
Any
Yeah.
in particular that you're reading now, or that you were just finished that you're into?
The book that I just finished last night was Die with Zero.
Oh,
Yeah.
good one.
So that was a very interesting book. And a lot of times I'll have a little bit of a tough time getting to the finish line. That one, no problem. Is very, very intriguing because I think in today's world, that's not how we operate.
Right.
We operate of make, save, and, make sure that we pass it on. And
Yeah, what was your main takeaways from there? Because you're a family guy.
Yeah, I think some of the main takeaways, I probably missed a window of my prime before I had back problems and things like that, where I should have been traveling, should have gotten to Europe, and should have crossed some things off my bucket list. Now it's not too late,
No.
but I've moved those things into immediate needs to hit on the bucket list
Right.
because of that.
Yep.
And I want to make sure that if given the opportunity, I have the opportunity to give my kids, financially before I'm on the other side, before I pass.
Right. And what I learned from there too, experientially, right? Like give them some memories.
Yes,
as
correct,
well, right?
correct.
Yeah.
Most importantly.
It's like there's a balance, right? Like it's not like die with zero, but
Right.
but it's don't, like you said, make just to leave the legacy.
Right.
And if they were given the choice and said, hey, would you rather have all that money that your dad made or half the money and have all the experiences too of going to Europe and Australia and Colorado and Wyoming? And they're like, yeah, they're always going to take option two.
Yeah.
So why aren't we designing our lives that way? And just like myself, I get caught up in the make, thinking, well, I'm going to leave it to them so they just have a better life than I had.
Right.
Yet they would have had a better life than I had I just had more experiences with them. So
Right.
it's that gentle balance too, because I also don't want to do all the trips, take away from work, and not make enough to leave them much,
Yeah.
right? So, how old are your kids now?
25, 24, 15, and my daughter will be 14 next month.
So we still got two in the house.
Two in the house.
Yeah. So and you got, I don't know, like me, that's 4-ish years of in the house at least.
Yeah.
But even when you take trips now, did the older ones come along sometimes?
Yeah, so we just went on a cruise in March, and that
Uh-huh.
was one of the things that we decided. We're like, we're gonna take a family trip,
Mm-hmm.
and we just, we
And the older ones came along.
the older ones, yeah, they
Yeah.
flew out, and it was
Cool.
great. We love it. We love it when the older boys are with us, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was great. It was a great time.
Yeah, I just think like my wife will say, "Hey," he's like, "We got 4 more years left," and I'm like, "I get it, like we got to do more stuff," and I'm like, I'm in, but I also think I got 4 more years left. But even when they leave, they're not gone. Like it's like we can do annual trips, or like you say, "Hey, March we're doing a cruise," and Christmas here. But I also understand like what happened with me was I moved out here to go to college, and I never moved back home.
Right.
So I just go home for the visits. Or, we also did a cruise over New Year's several years ago with the family. It's just not often enough. So I get it. But while you have the next 4 or 5, it's like, all right, well, how many more things can I do with the 15 and the 14-year-old now that maybe I didn't get to do with the others?
Right.
Right. And that's the same thing that I'm looking at. How do I
Yeah.
have more? We're redoing the house so we can have, hey, let's bring more of the friends over. Let's have more parties and hangouts. Let's make it more of a hangout house so that we can have more experiences at home. Or, hey, let's run up to Flagstaff and bring in a couple of your friends for the 4th of July. Let's have those kind of experiences.
Right.
So I think that's super important. But that was a really good book.
It was a good book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you on to now? Or have you picked a new one yet?
I just started the new one in our book club. I'm blanking on the name. You probably know
Oh,
it.
was it Clarity? Thinking Clearly?
Thinking Clearly. Thinking
Yep,
Clearly.
Yep. I haven't started that one.
So I just started that last night on the tail end of finishing that one. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, Average Sucks by Michael Burnoff was really that.
Wow.
I mean, Chris Bowers, my mentor and good friend, he brought me a few books. Die with Zero is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Profit First, and then Average Sucks. And Average Sucks I picked up, and I think I read it in 3 days. And I read that book, and immediately I said, you know what? It's time to raise my average.
I was going to say, you're not that guy.
Not
You're
that guy.
average. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not average, and that's what made me move. Besides, of course, all the incredible information and the incredible people that supported us in the move, it was
That's cool.
highly influential
Yeah,
in
that
the
was
decision.
a great one. Yeah, and Michael's a great speaker. Let me ask you this: as we wrap up, what's next? What's next for your business? Is it, hey, it's humming how it is, and it's running good, and I'm working the right amount of hours and time with the fam, and making what I want to be making, and I'm good? Or is there another level to what you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's another level, but I think it's more through leverage than time.
Okay.
We didn't really finish my day, but the family is so important. My daughter's in competitive soccer, so we travel to California 6, 8, 10 times a year. Super grateful in this business I'm able to do that. So yeah, I mean, we want to continue and expand and grow our business without it sacrificing the family time and the family experiences. So through leverage. So we'll continue to expand. The next step will be, once we need it, we'll be going to a second virtual assistant for more leverage. Again, I'm not leveraging out all my showings. I'm not leveraging out inspections or pre-closing walkthroughs. I'm still a lot of hands-on because, again, I want to be there with my clients and make sure that they feel that, because I've always had a philosophy in business and in sales that when you create one transaction or one transaction closes, that you get at least one referral from that. You get at least one more opportunity to serve someone else.
Well, and if you think of it that way, because I love that philosophy, like how many people did you help last year?
Last year we helped 30 people.
Okay, so you got 30. So if I'm able to embrace that philosophy and it works, there's 30 more for this year
Right.
that I'm getting referred. Plus the other referrals that are going to come through, plus the other 50% of your business that's coming through internet and sphere and stuff. So you should be amplifying your business
Right.
every single year as long as you maintain that philosophy, which becomes easier when you do insert yourself and keep yourself in the process at those key spots.
Right.
So I love that philosophy. Are there certain, because again, you're very data and system driven. What is that break point in the business where you say, okay, now it's time to get that VA because that's the next hire? Like, what is that indicator that you're going off of to say, okay, now it's time to hire that? Is it I'm this much profitable my P&L? Is it my production's at this number? What is it?
I think I always base it on a need for service where we're not delivering the service level that we should be. So it's not so much on the profitability level, but of course I'm not just going to spend. I'm going to run a smart business. But I think it's getting to a point. I mean, we're very new with a virtual assistant. So our virtual assistant isn't even 100% trained up of what she can be doing,
Okay.
I think, from what other VAs are doing out there. So I wouldn't want to add another one to the mix until we really get this one right.
Okay.
And make sure that, because I think there's more to be done and more leverage that we can get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
now, if you were to fast forward 5 years from now, what do you think your team and business would look like?
that's a good question. I mean, 5 and 10 years from now, and we want to continue to grow. I mean, we want to, we're on pace to do 50 transactions this year. I'd like to do 75 the next year, 100 the next year. And as you said, right, with business and with your transactions and service, that should amplify. Mm-hmm. That should continue to compound. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, I learn things every single day from our group, from podcasts, from listening to other people. And, I think you get better at this. You get more and more confident. I'm not even 4 years into the business. And we've been blessed to be surrounded by really, really good people that have helped us out along the way.
Well, and they all run great businesses that you can model after, and they're all willing to share, hey, I did this, don't do that.
Right.
Hey, do this, it'll be a little easier and better outcome than what I did. And you can build it, you can build it by design.
Right.
What you want it to look like.
Yeah, I think the other part too is I want to give back more to agents also now. So I want to start making sure that we have more agents that are coming over to EXP with us, that are, similar drive, similar mentalities, people that want to succeed, that we can give them the playbook and support them. I'm not sure that I actually want my own team per se. Did that for 30 years, but I want to help people. I want to give back the same way that, my mentors have done for me, over my business career over the past 35 years.
I like that a lot. I like that. All right, well, that leads me to one more question then, because, your career in the past was, hiring the operational people and building those teams, right? And you just mentioned some of the characteristics. What's, a few of the characteristics you'd be looking for? So like yesterday, I'm in this class, I got 25 people in there. They're coming into the industry, right? And you're looking to make an impact on the next generation. What are some of those qualities you're looking for in those people that would say, hey, you'd be an ideal fit for our collaborative kind of family that we've got over here at EXP? Like, what are those characteristics that you'd be looking for?
Yeah, I've always said that in recruiting, we want to look for somebody with a PhD mentality, passionate, hungry, and driven. Service-minded people, committed people, again, people that want to do this full time, people that understand, what it's like to be an entrepreneur, people that aren't afraid to put in the work and learn.
Yeah. Now, are there certain attributes that you would pick up on? Like, for example, someone like your daughter. Hey, I was a competitive soccer player. Like that for me is like, oh, cool, let's talk. Because I already know they're competitive, very driven, very focused, very coachable if they've been doing it for that long, right? Yeah. Is there anything that you'd be looking for? Like yesterday, there was a gal in the class, medical sales rep. Like, okay, she goes, I just want to be able to sell higher ticket items
Yeah.
because the medical devices and the pharmaceuticals weren't cutting it, right? I want to get
Right.
in real estate. Cool, okay, let's have a conversation. Like, so what are some of the fields or traits or things that people would have been doing in the past that would amplify their career in real estate?
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, people that have been involved in sports have been highly committed. Professions like that, where they're in front of highly influential people like doctors, you know that those people are polished. They can communicate very well. They can, they understand how they have to look, how they have to present themselves.
Yep.
So yeah, I think it's people in our line of work, right, in the fitness business.
Yes.
I mean, people that can sell an intangible product and a dream and a belief, and people that truly care about wanting to change people's lives. That's another really, really good line of people. But I just think that
That's a really
there's
good point.
a lot of people out there that just don't understand what you can do. People, again, I'm not saying it was easy starting off, but if you have the right people around you, the right tools, the right playbook, the right support, yeah, it's great. I mean, to have the autonomy that we do, to build our business, to do as much business as we want or as little business as we want, and spend as much time with our families. It's yeah,
It's pretty incredible.
Yeah,
We're pretty blessed.
It's great. Yeah, for sure.
Killer. Hey, well, thanks, Mike, for coming on, man.
Yeah,
I
thanks
really
for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
Thanks,
Appreciate
brother.
it.
Yeah, thank you.